Shalom Aleichem, everybody. What made Moses so special? The prophet Moshe, Moses. We hear this a lot, that there was no prophet like Moses. He was the greatest prophet to ever live. And in this video, if you stay with us, I'm going to try to get you an answer for that. But it's really something to think about. And what can we learn from this? First of all, what we have to understand is, what is a prophet? Quickly, to understand a prophet, a navi, as we say in the holy language, is a person who is able to see and speak to God. Mainly to speak to God and to receive a message from Hashem. There are 47 prophets in the Torah, seven prophetesses as well in the Torah, and that were mentioned in the Bible, in the Tanach. And there are some opinions that total there can be around 1 million prophets that there's ever been. But the special ones, the 47 prophets and the 7 prophetesses, are the ones who are actually mentioned in the Tanach, in the Bible, and they are relevant to every generation. Meaning there could have been other generations where a person received a prophecy, but it was only relevant to him, or to his immediate people around him, or generation, but not something that's written down in the Torah that's relevant to us now. But the prophets in the Torah, they receive messages that are relevant for all time. So a prophet is a person that's able to receive a message from God. When I said see God, that's where Moses comes into the case where it says Hashem spoke to him face to face. It also says he didn't see Hashem's face, but he saw his hind side, his back. Obviously, Hashem doesn't have a body, but when we say this, there's a deeper meaning to this. That Moses was able to see the outer revelation of Hashem's inner reality, whatever that means, right? Obviously, it's such a deep level, and I can go into the Kabbalah of it, the levels that Moses experiences, but he was able to see the outer side, the exterior revelation of Hashem's light. Such an incredible level. So now to understand every other prophet besides Moshe, and it says even Mashiach will be a prophet like Moses, like Moshe, and he will be the Moses of this generation. Then we will enter an era where we will experience even higher levels of prophecy than Moshe experienced. But until then, Mashiach will be right there, right under Moshe, it says. Now, a prophet is a person that receives a message from God. So normally, every other prophet besides Moses, besides Moshe, they experience prophecy not in the form of a direct conversation with God necessarily, but through a vision, through a dream state. There are some prophets that went to sleep. They went to sleep and they had a dream and they experienced Hashem in the dream, or they experienced a vision and a message through that vision, that Hashem communicated a message to them through that vision. But with Moshe, Hashem spoke to him directly, and not just directly, so often, like many times a day at some times, or multiple times. It could be in a day, or it could be for one after the other. Meaning Moshe had direct access. Moshe had Hashem on speed dial. Moshe also had incoming calls, outgoing calls. Normally prophets just had incoming calls. So when Hashem spoke to them, that's when they would receive a message from God, and they would do with that what they had to do. But with Moshe, he could have outgoing calls. He could speak directly to God, and God would answer him. So to be at that level is an unbelievable level to get to. Just to understand this in other ways, is that Moses, he was able to withstand the experience of Mount Sinai. When Hashem said the 10 commandments, the first 2 commandments, Hashem told the whole Jewish people. They wanted to hear it directly from God. But this revelation was too intense. It was so intense to hear the voice of God directly that every other person died. Their souls left their bodies when God spoke, and God had to replace their souls back in their bodies and revive them from the dead. except Moses. Moses was able to remain in his body even when God spoke and experience it, and not just handle it, but enjoy it. So then the Jewish people said, okay, it's too much for us. Hashem, speak directly to Moses, Moshe, and Moses will tell us what you said. So that is to understand how great Moses is that he is able to connect to God like no other person, and in fact, not just connect to God, but connect others to God. He is our teacher. We call him Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, our teacher, our rabbi. That's what he is. He's a teacher. He is the one that lifts us up to get closer to God. But now, to understand what made him greater than others, this is just what he experienced, but what caused him to deserve or to even be at the level, what brought him to this level to experience this? Well, we should know it's his soul. First of all and foremost, his soul includes every other Jewish person's soul within it. He is called a general soul, a neshama klal. Within his soul has every other Jew's soul within it. That's why we all have a spark of Moses within us, because he has everyone's soul within him. But what also made him so special was, it says in the Torah, this greatest compliment the Torah itself says was that what was his greatest quality of all was his humility. That as great as he was, as smart as he was, as powerful and as wealthy, and he was very wealthy, as wealthy as he was, his greatest quality was his humility. And he would always say, yes, I'm great, but I'm very smart. Yes, I'm wise, but that's because Hashem gave me this wisdom. Hashem gave me everything I've done that one would think I'm so great. It's because Hashem gave me these abilities. And if he gave them to you, maybe you would have been even better than me. He always saw himself as receiving Hashem's blessings. He never felt above anyone, even though he was infinitely, in a sense, above any other person, because he was able to experience this level of God like no other and be able to still be alive in a body. But yet he saw himself as the teacher of everyone, and he loved everyone infinitely. And that is what makes a leader, is his love for his students. And really, that's why when Hashem wanted to destroy the Jewish people and restart them through Moses, Moshe said, no, not going to please, I don't want to be a part of it, because I don't need them just to be my children. All the Jewish people are like my children. My students are like my children. I love them. Please, Hashem, don't destroy the Jewish people. And he saved the Jewish people through that prayer. So guys, let's spark the Moses within us, and let's bring Mashiach. I hope this message found you well. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's experience the redemption today, God willing.